All right, it's me, Adrian Kudal. I'm a vlogger at YouTube. My username is The Kudal. I'm vlogging right now because I feel like a few people want to see this, you know, and then I understand that I haven't vlogged for quite some time. And that's because I felt like my communication skill was diminishing. I'm really struggling now, trying to keep up this unwritten speech. So I don't know how I'm gonna, accomplish this. Three things I want to talk about is my travel life, my shopping, and my forgot the other one now. I thought about this going to sleep last night. So travel, shopping, and I don't know. It could be StarCraft. I don't know. With my traveling, I've gone to Mississauga a few times, but a lot of times when I travel that far, I have to check my Crohn's. Like I said, I'm suffering. I'm suffering with a Crohn's disease. So, a lot of my travel is local. Like I would go to the gas station or something, and then I go to the mall, go to the outlet mall, and a lot of these things are documented. You would see this on my selfie. You see this on my Instagram. That I checked in at Outlet Collection. Especially in St. David's, because I do my walking. Most of my walking is done here in St. David's, and I would take a selfie while I'm outdoors, right? And then say that I'm in St. David's, So it's really simple, just simple stuff. I blogged about it. I blogged about my whereabouts. I think my blog has more detail. I really don't know. If you want to know my blog site, it's at Tumblr. It's a lengthy read, one word. So a lengthy read at Tumblr or something like that, But you would see my typing there. You'd see my typing life. I don't know. I think what makes my life hard is that there's a lot of judgmental people. Like I'm basically under judgment. So when it comes to selfie, when it comes to Instagram, checking in on the places you're at or where I'm at, it would be the familiarity. It would be the mall again. I'm always at the mall. I like the mall because it has the washroom, right? Because the thing with Crohn's is that the more you walk, the more you would poo. So as I walk in the mall, then I'm ready to go to the washroom anytime I want to. Stuff like that. I started buying Gap. Like, this is a Gap shirt. I started buying Gap items because I came across their designer, Zach Poren. His name is Zach Pores. I can't even say his name right. But it's interesting enough that I look at the Gap designs. I look at how he did the company, and I really like. I like the T-shirts. I like the interior design of the retail shop. He also does Old Navy. So what I ended up with Old Navy was, denim. End up with 3 denim long sleeves, So I was thinking last night, I came home around 9 o'clock last night, and I thought about going to Falls View. I think eventually I'm gonna have a late night trip to Falls View because I'm not gonna gamble, of course. I don't gamble, but the way I was taught was that if there's a good real estate, if there's a real estate building that's, whatever feasible, if you want to call it that, then keep visiting it. So I have parking so far, my parking, my free parking, the ticket, the barcode parking ticket. I still have till December 31st, so I have a lot of time. But I'd like to at least experiment. I'd like to find out if I keep visiting Falls View Casino. I'd like to find out if that's attractive to people. If that's the thing that people are gonna look into or follow to. So what else? Yeah, I started buying Gap. I started buying Old Navy. I do a lot of walking. I think a few of you know that I do a lot of walking, and my knees started to hurt. My body started to ache. Because I've done walking. I've done walking. I've been walking all my life. Like even in high school. High school was torture because I would play sports. It's almost like a daily thing. I would practice, train. And then next thing you know, if I have to walk home, then it'll be like a half-hour walk. And my body would just cry out. So if it's a thought-provoking thing, last night I stopped by Pizza, halfway through here in Niagara. And Pizza had that deal again of 2 slices for $6. So I'm like, all right, good deal. But on my last slice, I could barely, because one slice they cut it in half. So if you get 2 slices, you really get 4 because it's cut in half, right? But I was struggling with the last slice. Like I could hardly swallow it, And then next thing you know, I had to go to Dairy Queen because the thing with Crohn's is that you want the digestion, you want the digestion to continue, and dairy is good for digestion in a way where it'll break down the bread, because pizza is hard to that sometimes you have to wait 2 days till you go to the bathroom. I think it's your system struggles to break the food down. Anyway, so but the thing with dairy is that you can't drink too much. You like milk, you can't drink too much milk when you have colon problems, because your system will turn watery. So you wanna be careful with it. You want to be lenient about it. What else? Again, like if no one's gonna correct me with my socials, I go all out. I'd be open. But I remember one time when at the cruise, there was a casino on the second level, or whatever level it was, level 16. And then I put up the photos on Instagram, and my father corrected me. He said to delete the pictures. You see, that's how strict it is. Because you have these Christians dealing with a church, and there can't be any. But the reason why I took the slot machines pictures is that they're attractive, right? Especially the brand new ones now. There's a lot of attraction to it. Like there's color and then there's lights. It's just feasible. If it's a business, it's feasible. But I can't just put out anything, because I'm gonna get corrected. I'm gonna get scolded, or people get mad at me, or so. When sometimes when people ask me, where you've been, and I just basically say, I'm from the mall, or I'm from Walmart, because there's no controversies. There's no controversies if you're at the mall, right? Um, even with this Zach Boris T-shirt, even with Gap, because apparently Zach is a gay man. So now you got these Christians in the church again. Oh, Zach is gay. Don't buy Old Navy. Don't buy stuff like that, right? I mean, these are issues that have gone on for years, of probably centuries, and like people don't really understand me. People don't know that I like the design. It's not like I'm trying to be gay. I'm not gay or anything like that. It's like the clothes. A T-shirt could be $20, $20 to $30, and you know I should have the ability and the choice to get what I want. Right? That should be my, what do you call it, prerogative. If I have the money for it, if I'm willing to spend money on it, it should be sure for me. But I felt like I had to update now. I have to do this now because people. I feel like people want the content. People want to know what I'm saying. Stuff like that. This morning I just realized that maybe my clothes, maybe my fashionable clothes, can be considered. Because people don't know that that I watch a lot of fashion shows on YouTube. I watch Tommy Hill, I watch Jason Wu, I watch Versace, Zach now, and when at the mall, like when I look at the mannequins, I'll be like, oh wow, there's a nice style by the mannequin. And if I really like what the mannequin is wearing, then I would I would buy the same thing, right? But it is that I approach this as a business. Like I'm not just being fluky about it. There's a plan. There's a guideline I have to go through. Even at the back, even the big screen at my back, it's Michael Jordan's Space Jam. That just didn't turn on flukely. I made a decision that I'm gonna show Space Jam while I'm vlogging, right? Even with the books at my back, because I read a book, the Zoom Room book. You might have seen this. Rate your Zoom Room. And the book will say that it's good to have books at the background. So there you go. I had no choice anyway. I had to get this bookshelf because I have so many books. I buy a lot of books and everything like that. Even coming home, I stopped by Chapters last night, and I bought this. Photography. Split Seconds, Hong Kong. It's a dirty set of pictures, but I like the Chinese culture. When I was at Scarborough in Agincourt, I miss the smell of dried ginseng. Because one thing with the Chinese people is that they're not. They're simple. They're simple to the point where they're not gonna harm you. Chinese people just mind their own business. Chinese people are not gonna come up to you. Hey, you're gonna buy Nike shoes. Like they don't bother with that, right? Like when I was at Pacific Mall, Agincourt, even Scarborough Town Center. I got to see ethnicity. Get to see different cultures, different nationalities. Because here in Niagara, I'm always here, and then I would see, I would see the same people, see the same clothes, and it gets boring, So travel is a good way of just, reaching a destination where you see things in a fresh new way. Anyway, my time is up, and again, all the best, and rock on, keep rocking on. I don't know, stuff like that, bye bye.